Hola from the west side. It is me, DC the Purple Diva, and welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wednesday. It's a short week for those of us who are working, but I have a topic that I'm going to start off with tonight. And to keep me on track, I put it in the title. Because I didn't get a chance to talk about this on last night. And that is my girl, Tamar Braxton. Now, your girl DC is definitely a Tamar Braxton fan. I am definitely a Tamartian. I mean, I liked Tamar way back when it was the Braxtons and when she did that album way, way, way back. I've, you know, the family's from the area of the country that I'm from, and I've always rocked with them. But, so I'm saying that first. So I don't have no Tamartians coming jumping off the porch, coming at DC. Because that is not what this is about. This, I hope, is a teachable moment. Because that's really what it should be for most of us. So when I talk about toxic Tamar in the title, it is not necessarily that it is Tamar that is toxic. But it appears that she attracts toxicity. Because you have to think about the history that she's had. I believe on the show, against her wishes, it was exposed that she dealt with some sexual abuse when she was younger. We also know that she has been in several relationships that are abusive, either emotionally or physically. And after her divorce from Vincent, she did not really and truly, I feel, take the time that she probably should have to actually heal herself. And, now when she shaved all her hair off, y'all, I thought that was a little dramatic. However, I know other women, when we're going through breakups of relationships, of marriages and stuff like that, I don't know what it is, but we like to do stuff to our hair. When I got a divorce from my son's dad, my hair went through all shades of pink and purple. That's how I found out that my hair does not like color. But I've seen women cut their hair off, cut it short, um, do a lot of different things to their hair. I don't know why we do that. But I've seen it happen before. But she appeared to be happy in the relationship with David. Y'all, I hate that he has the same name as my son. because that name actually means beloved. But David is an African man, okay? And I'm not sure what country he's from, but culturally, the men that I know from the few African countries that I do know, or I have known men from, friends, I ain't never dated an African, um, they are very controlling, very possessive. I knew a man from Kenya. I've known a man from Ghana, and I know a few Nigerians, and I also know some Ethiopians. But Ethiopians kind of separate them. Never mind, because that's kind of going off track. But anyway, getting back to Tamar. You know, now the abuse in her marriage and in this relationship with David are alleged. He's alleging that she abused him. She's alleging that it was the other way around. Okay. In her marriage to Vincent Herbert, there was alleged physical and emotional abuse in that relationship. And, just from what you could see, although, Vincent, appeared to be very soft spoken, what I saw was very passive aggressiveness and control issues. And prior to her marriage to Vincent, she had been in a tumultuous, abusive relationship that she has talked about, just not in great detail. So when you look at it from that perspective, you have to look at it and, you know, think about it. If you were the person this was going on for, look at it from this perspective. What is it that Tamar is doing to attract this type of man? Okay. And more importantly, why is she attracted to this type of man? Because, some women, you know, I'm not going to say like being abused, but some women normalize it. And maybe Tamar has normalized it. And it's something that she expects to happen eventually in relationship. But she's got to have seen red flag, because I know that Tamar is a firecracker. Okay. I know that she is. However, I don't think that there's a whole lot that Tamar could do to David. And a couple of months ago, she tried to take her own life, which was a clear cry out for help. Now, this latest incident comes on the heels of seeing David being a social butterfly on his Instagram and sharing him out with Logan and his mother. Now, it's not that they were out, it's the things that he said, like they're giving Tamar a break. Like it just came off in a way that it appears may have set Tamar off. And she's already, I feel, emotionally fragile. She was emotionally fragile when she got with this dude. She was emotionally fragile when she got with this guy. I mean, we saw her starting to build back up, and she's starting to build back up her career and everything and make her own lane. And, you know, before oh boy said that he was not interested in it. Now, from what I understand, he's all up in everything, but it's not a good look for him because his mask apparently is slipping. So now let's look at Tamar's marriage in comparison to now. Now, when she was married to Vincent, and I don't believe that that was her first marriage. Hey, 1SP, thank you so much. Thank you so much for liking and sharing. I appreciate that. I don't feel like I'm the only one sharing my lives out. But I don't believe that Vincent Herbert was Tamar Braxton's first marriage. I think she may have been married briefly before that. Um, but in her marriage to Vincent, if you didn't notice when they were on the show, it was like she could not go anywhere without Vincent. Now, she made it like she didn't want to be anywhere without him, but I think it may have been that he didn't want her anywhere without him around in regards to her family so that he could control whatever was going on and control the spin with the family. Now, we know that his initial relationship with the family was because he was Tony Braxton's manager at one point. And when he originally met Tamar, they were friends for a while before they became, more than friends. And, you know, I do not know when the alleged physical abuse happened or started to happen, but you could see that there were some emotional things that were going on. You could see that on her show with him, and you could also see some of that on the Braxtons. Because you could see that Vince was not as, laid back as he appeared to be. And I think that that is the same thing that probably came out on her new show that she had. I think it's Fix Your Life or whatever she called her show. Tamar Fixing Her Life. I forget what she called it. But I believe that this showed that he was the same type of person. And David didn't like what he saw. And he got in to Tamar's face about it. She stressed out about it. It sent her over the edge because that would mean that she was walking on eggshells around this man at this point. You know? And I mean, and and if you think about it, isn't it ironic that her name is Tamar? Think about Tamar in the Bible too. Tamar in the Bible didn't have an easy life either. You know, you think about the upbringing of the Braxtons because they were brought up in the church. And they were brought up in a very, I would say, kind of conservative church. Now, I'm not blaming anything that's, going on with these girls now in life on them being brought up in the church, because that's not what I'm saying. But what I will say is that I don't, I think that the way that they were brought up may have ill-equipped Tamar to deal with the right types of relationships. You know, because although her father, as far as we know, was never physically abusive to her mom, the emotional abuse of him cheating, you know, that was emotional abuse. And if I'm not mistaken, something happened to Tamar when she was a teenager. And if that, in fact, is the case, that would have, left her, it damaged, especially when it comes to intimate relationships, you know. And I'm not talking about physically intimate, I mean emotionally intimate relationships. Now, I told you guys when Tamar attempted to take her life that was a cry for help. And I do believe that that was an attempt. And I personally think that she should have gone into therapy after her marriage ended with Vince. She should not have jumped into another relationship because she's in another controlling relationship. Regardless of whether this man ever laid his hands on her, what you could see was that there was some kind of control things going there. Tamar having these meltdowns. Just because the man is soft spoken doesn't mean that he's not an aggressor. You know, it's definitely a teachable moment in regards to, you know, dealing with relationships. There are women who are not able to just be by themselves. They may be afraid to be by themselves. Now, I'm not saying that that's who Tamar is, but I mean, you have other examples of women who are seem to be relationship junkies. They can't be by themselves. Um, in regards to that, Jennifer Lopez would be a very good example. She's a serial, she's serial to relationships. This woman can't be by herself. You know, hopefully her and what's his name will get married. She's 50, almost 51. This will be what? I don't know, her second or third marriage. No, it's her third because remember she was married to the dancer dude. And she was married to Mark Anthony. I don't think she married any of the other people in between. But anyway. But this situation with Tamar is toxic. And I believe that Tamar attracts this toxicity. Um, I'm not going to say that she's a toxic person because I don't believe that she's toxic. I believe that she is emotionally immature in some situations, and I don't believe that she's allowed other people to help her to heal from past hurts. But Tamar needs to not get in another relationship for a minute. She really needs to just sit back and raise her son. You know, if she's going to work on her career, work on her career. But right now, and just based on her recent history, she's not attracting the right type of man for her. She's not, because if you are at the point of trying to kill yourself, and it's behind a show and how the show portrayed the relationship. No, it told the truth. It's showing the truth. It's showing that this what this man is doing, and he didn't like it. So then he's having an issue. So now it's your issue. So now you can't handle it. Domestic domestic abuse, be it against the male or against the female, is not right. I mean, you know, we can take situation, the recent situation with make the stallion. Um, it took this girl what, at least a week, a couple of weeks for her to come out and say that this rapper dude was the one who shot her. Now we all knew it was him. We all knew that it was him. But she was protecting her abuser. Tamar has protected her abusers. She protected, well, I'll say her alleged abusers. Let me clarify. She has protected her alleged abusers. She had protected her ex-husband with the alleged abuse. She has never, you know, confirmed nor denied. But at one point, what, homegirl had a broken finger or something? How'd she break her finger? How'd she break her finger? You know? And, her sisters may be conniving and manipulative in certain situations. But what I don't think that they would do is lie about what they saw and heard around in her previous relationship. Now, nobody had said anything in regards to this one with David, because once again, she appears to be isolated away from her family, because that is what abusers do. They isolate you. They want you to feel that they are the only one who you can depend on. I mean, how much had you seen her with her family, around any of her family members? So surely, were we weren't seeing any, because Tamar, she's a social media butterfly, but you didn't see any of that. Even after the attempt, you didn't see much. And I know that she and her sister Tony are extremely close. And then, you have people saying that David is around her for the wrong reasons. So he's trying to what? Ride her coattails, because did nobody know who the heck he was before he got with her. He was just another rich African dude. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to take away from his success or anything, but I know that he's from one of the countries that is depending on where culturally it may be different in how men treat their women. You know, because keep in mind, we here on this side of the Atlantic, our examples come from whatever we see here on this side of the Atlantic in the ADOS, whereas they're dealing with a different culture, and therefore culturally, African men are different. And I can say that just knowing from being friends with a few. And I have girlfriends who are American, who have married Africans who came over here. And they say the same thing. Hey, Terry, talking about our sister Tamar, and who seems to be continuously in toxic relationships. Seems to be her thing. It seems to be her thing. Now she and this African dude are on the outs. He's filed a restraining order saying she put her hands on him. She's saying no, it's not her. He put his hands on her, and she has a history of toxic relationships. She got a history of them. You know. Now I don't think that Tamar is toxic, but maybe it is Tamar. Maybe she's the toxic element. Maybe there's something, you know, there's some toxicity in her that's residual from going through all of this stuff that has made her now to be a toxic person herself. And I'm talking about in relationships. Because she seems to be doing pretty well in the other areas of her life these days. And, we all want to be happy. But this doesn't look like happy. This looks worse than when she was with Vince. Now, when she was with him, as far as we know, she didn't try to take her life. But in the next relationship, you know, she's an emotional basket case. Does that make sense, you guys? Hey, Matt. Does that make sense? Now Tamar is an emotional basket case. She beating up on this man. So he's got to get a restraining order to keep her away from him. But her side is saying, nope, that's not what's going on. But ladies, this is a message to you. If you are dealing with someone putting their hands on you, you know, don't hesitate. Even if you, you need to go try to get a restraining order. Don't let a man go get a restraining on you if he is the aggressor. And stop trying to cover up for these dudes. Covering up. Because now, I mean, how old is Tamar? What is she? What, 43, 44? She's still young enough that she could take some time off for herself and then be ready for a relationship with someone that we ain't seen them in on TMZ. We saw her on TMZ about crazy stuff with Vince. Now what is going on with this dude? And the reason I'm looking at it from the perspective that it's not necessarily her is because many times, if when we are damaged ourselves, we attract damaged people. Yep, Chris and Rihanna, that was a toxic relationship. You know, I'm not going to even put it out there that, well, maybe she brings this out in him. No, no. If somebody brings out this kind of behavior, then you don't need to be with that person. You don't need to be with that person. That's my feelings. I mean, we've already seen pictures of Tamar from previous abuse. We don't want to see no more of those. We do not want to have her, you know, uh, what, less than 2 months after she tried to take her life. Now a restraining order is being pulled on her. How? Somebody help me to understand, how did she go from that to now she's being portrayed as the aggressor? I just don't understand it, y'all. But I do know toxic when I see toxic. And, you know, when she shaved her head, y'all, that was a sign she was going through something. Just like Tiffany shaving her head, sign she's going through something emotionally. So now, as you're going through something emotionally, maybe that was to free her from whatever she was in, from with Vince. Because, I mean, Vince had this girl always wearing them blonde wigs because, he had this, he liked blondes. Well, since black women, for the most part, do not grow blonde hair naturally out of their head, that meant he had a fixation on Caucasian or white women. Yet he was with a black woman. So that had her insecure right there, you know. But we could see he was in control of everything. He was in control of her career, you know, when she was going to have one and when she wasn't going to have one. And we could see when they were having conversations in regards to her career that there was something simmering under in the relationship with him. And you know, I've seen even when they were on the other show. Now, maybe I just put it off to, you know, he's you know, he's not from here. And as I said, I know guys that are from Africa, that are from several of the countries over there. And when they talk, it does come off rather abrupt and rude. But what if that was how he felt? And you see what I'm saying? Hey, Marilyn. Thank you for listening. No, if a dude is being pushed, Matt, what if dude is a pushover? This dude ain't no pushover though. He not. He ain't even gonna make me see him as a punk. You know, mm-mm. That culturally for him. Now, I mean, you might be talking about some other dude. Yeah, there's some dudes that will allow women that women abuse and have been abused by women. But this is not one of them. He just flipped it and put a restraining order to make it look like that. But she needs to stay away from him either way. I don't think he means her any good. Because you have to think, what would make someone in her position want to take their own life? And why was he so calm when he called 911 to have them come? He wasn't acting like it was a big deal. You know, he was busy with the making sure people knew who he was. Y'all heard that 911 call. It wasn't just me. I'm not the only one who heard the 911 call. And yet now we're to believe that he fears for his life. So he needs a restraining order against Tamar. I'm just saying, we're talking about someone who less than 2 months ago tried to take their own life. Maybe they didn't hear it in the back row. So let me say it again. We are talking about someone who less than 2 months ago tried to take their own life. But now we are supposed to believe that that same person is the aggressor. That's what we're supposed to believe now. She's very dramatic. You're right about that, Matt. She is very dramatic. Maybe he's very dramatic too. you know? It's just that this doesn't sound right because we're talking about someone who we know clearly needed some psychological help and needed to be in therapy, you know? And so now you're going to tell me that that same person, the love of your life, David, you are now fearing for your life and you need a restraining order against her. Okay. My head screws on and off. I will believe anything. That's what makes this so sad because people are, most people are just looking at this like, what the hell? But, you know, he trying to get he's trying to get his 15 minutes of fame off the situation. So that means he's not there for the right reasons. Because, you know, here's the thing. He got enough money that if he don't want to be bothered by Tamar, he won't be bothered by Tamar. He didn't need a restraining order. He has enough money to make himself disappear to someplace else. It is odd for a guy to file a restraining order. Now, if he's filing a restraining order because he thinks she's emotionally unbalanced, you don't file a restraining order for that. In that situation, what you do is you try to get some psychological help for the person. Maybe encourage them to go into an inpatient program. But that's not what he did. He filed a restraining order, and we're all looking at giving him the side eye because we all remember the 911 call. We all remember that she tried to take her life. And then, and because to me, I'm thinking in my head, when I heard the 911 call, I'm like, this is the man that she wants to be with. He seems to be more concerned about making sure that they know who he is versus them knowing that Tamar Braxton has tried to take her life. I know it is. It's very, very odd for a man to get a restraining order against a woman. It is usually the other way around. And with all the antics that Tamar exhibits, I don't see her as a danger to others. Who I see her as a danger to is herself. Man, you gotta listen to it, Terry. It was like, is this her boyfriend? Is this how boyfriends act? Even if you are a calm alpha male, you wouldn't be talking this other stuff that he was talking on the phone. Hey, Fable Lily, thank you for coming. We're talking about Tamar, you know. And I will admit that, girls from the part of the country that I'm from, we kind of we can be off the chain a little bit, you know. But and artists are very dramatic, and Tamar is definitely an artist. But we've never seen anything, nor have there been any reports, even in the situation with her and Vince. He didn't even come back and say that she put her hands on him. You know? But this dude is out for his 15 minutes of fame that's gone on for a couple of years, and he needs to extend it some more. He's tired, I guess, of being with Tamar. You know, he doesn't want to be responsible, after she tried to take her own life, which is that's some cold stuff. For you to leave somebody, you know, when they're, trying to get themselves back to being whole. But then again, he may be one of the reasons why she's still not whole. So maybe he does need to vamoose. Maybe he does. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, man. I think Kelly Rowland's man. I think her husband used her to, you know. I mean, because didn't he somehow become her manager and stuff? Or was he her manager? Did she do that same stupidness that Mary J. Blige did with Kendu? It's like Kelly. I still don't think that girl knows her own worth. And see, with Tamar, though she talks like, she's all this, and people just better love her. She's got some low self-esteem because if you look at how she was with her family on the show, and it was a lot of that was because they, chopped it up and made it look crazy, and some of the other stuff was is that they tried to steer things into drama on a reality TV. That's how they do it. That's how they would have people already mad when they start a scene. Yeah, so he became her manager, which gave him control over her. That's the same situation with Tamar when she was with Vince. He was her manager and her husband. Everybody can't do it like Gloria Estefan, whose husband is her manager, because she is Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine. But Gloria Estefan's husband is her manager, you know, and they good because they didn't been married for a billion years and stuff. Yeah, she don't know how much she's worth. And I mean, I don't know why she's jealous of Beyonce. She don't want Beyonce's problems. She do not want Beyonce's problems. Cause think about this. I do not think the issue when Jay cheated on her was the cheating. I think the issue was is that everybody found out about it. And it was a white girl. That's like a slap in the face to the light skinned girl with the light colored eyes, with the naturally, sandy brown hair. She's one of the ones. Now she highlights to make her hair lighter, but her natural hair is like a sandy brown. But Kelly has never really known how much she was worth, you know, because they stick the beautiful chocolate girl next to, the beautiful light skinned girl with the light colored eyes. And even though their voices are very similar, y'all, I'm telling you, their voices are very similar. Because I have Kelly's album too. Her albums that she did, I got hers. I mean, like Michelle, I got that one song, Jesus Says, because I like that song. And, I like gospel, but, she's got a lot of new songs on there, and that's the only one I really like. So, I know people be saying that that's Jay's kid. I don't think that her child looks like them. But I think that because her and Beyonce have been around each other for so long, and I know that they're still quote unquote tight, you know, I don't see that she would have, I think that's her child with that dude, you know, and he just wants to be a dick about it. Let's just be honest. Yeah, Becky with the good hair. But however, that's a bunch of BS, because we know that there are black people who both of their parents are black, and then their grandparents were black, and then their parents before them were black, have good hair, you know, or have that nice hair. And there's nobody white in the family. It's just that's the hair that grew out of their head. I mean, because like my brother, and I'm sure my hair probably would do this if I wore it short, but I don't like it short. But my brother, all he has to do is put a little aloe vera gel in his hair, and then his hair curls up like he has a jerry curl. Guess he's got that good hair. Oh, and by the way, my brother is like chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Yeah, he's dark brown with curly hair that grows out of his head. Yeah, I hate when people talk about good hair. And when she gave that narrative of good hair, my hair is better than their hair because at least I don't have to wash my hair every day to get all that grease and stuff out of it. I can wash my hair every couple of days, even when I have braids in it, guys. You still need to wash your hair every couple of days. Do not be afraid of water. Water is your hair's friend. Yeah, they do. They think her baby is Jay-Z. Child, that is not Jay's baby. Shoot, And in my humble opinion, you know, Beyonce may have cheated on Jay for them twins to get back at him for cheating with Becky. Because we know daggone well Blue Ivy is his child. That little girl looked just like him. Poor baby. Poor baby. She looked like her daddy. But actually, she don't have his nose, thank God. Thank God she don't have his nose, y'all. You know. Oh, Lily with the good hair. Oh, Nightbot woke up, y'all. Nightbot woke up. Ha 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 ha. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. I added Nightbot as a mod to my chat so that I could do overnights. And I did that yesterday. I know he placed you in timeout, but it was only for 5 seconds because I haven't programmed him. I have to go in there and tell him that it's okay for people to have emojis in the chat. He can't time out Terry because Terry is also a moderator. I forgot that Nightbot was in my freaking chat, y'all, because he had not come out and said hi. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, see, that was why I did not want Nightbot because Nightbot has a mind of his own. It took until almost the end of my daggone life for Nightbot to come out. But now he's working. Now he's working. Thanks for coming in at the last minute, Nightbot. At least I know you there. Well, Fable Lily, the only reason I got Nightbot is because April told me what to do to make him start working, and then he still wasn't working. He just shows up 45, 50 minutes later. Shame on you, Nightbot. Shame on you, Nightbot. But yeah, now that I know he's working, I will go over to my Nightbot page and then I can go in there and take out him being able to because now YouTube does not care how many emojis are in your chat. They used to, they don't anymore. So all I have to do is go in there and take that out of the things that Nightbot looks for me. But I needed Nightbot so that I could do some of these overnights and, not be expecting, my mods to be up in there watching it for, I don't know, 5, 6 hours. But I'm about to do one. I'm just going to premiere and I'm just going to play some of my live streams. Now that Nightbot is finally decided to freaking work. When I saw Nightbot, I almost fell out of my chair. I almost fell out of my chair because I hadn't seen him. I thought I had added Nightbot and Nightbot, but everybody says that Nightbot is very finicky, very temperamental, and works when they want to work. You know, I don't know. Maybe I should try the Streamlabs one, but everyone says the Nightbot is the better one. You know, to do if you want to have a chat that may not have a lot of mods in it. Thank you, Fable Lily. I appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna come on camera, you guys, so you all can see me for a minute. Let me pull my hair up. Let me pull my hair up. Flip on top of my head. Okay. All right. Now let me come on camera. I don't want it to look crazy. So let me. All right, we'll come on camera. David's going to come on camera too. Come sit down first, David, so you can be on camera with Mom. All right, here we go. Hey, guys. There's David. Say hi. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm going to get off of here. I'm glad y'all came through. All right. All right, Peter North. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. I'm going to get on out of here. Yeah, I definitely got to go have a conversation with Nightbot because now Nightbot is showing their behind. All right, so I will see you guys, but until then, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. I will be back tomorrow once I go get Nightbot to work right. Anyway, bye. See you guys. Peace.